Hello everyone! Today we will see how to make a healthy whole wheat flour bread. This bread is made with 100% whole wheat flour. Just a few extra ingredients and you can make this awesome tasty whole wheat bread. One of the extra ingredient that I've used in this bread is this whey water. I got this whey water when making paneer. Usually when we make paneer, we are left with a lot of whey water. Using this while making bread gives a very nice texture to the bread, as this whey water is rich in protein. So every time you make paneer, don't discard it, use it here. Here I've got half a cup of warm water. Make sure this is warm water. If it's very hot, the yeast will die, and if it's not warm enough, the yeast will not activate. So to half a cup of warm water, add 3 tablespoons of jaggery. You can add sugar also, but since we are making a healthy bread, I've added jaggery. And then add 2 teaspoons of yeast. Mix all this well together and then leave this aside for 10 minutes. Wait for the yeast to activate and then we'll start making the bread. So this is after 10 minutes. As you can see, the yeast has activated well. The next ingredient is this egg. Egg is also rich in protein. Add the egg along with the yeast and mix it nicely. Increasing the protein content will always give you a very nice bread, especially when we are using whole wheat flour. Here I've got 4 cups of atta. This is full complete whole wheat flour. Add 1 teaspoon salt and then combine it. Then add the yeast mixture. Then add 1 cup of whey water. Slightly warm up the whey water and then add it in. Now mix this all well together. I'm using a mixer. Let the mixer run for about 2 to 3 minutes at least. As it's mixing, you can add the oil. I'm using 2 tablespoons of olive oil. The next special ingredient I'm using is this vital wheat gluten. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of it. This is optional. If you want, you can add it, otherwise leave it out. The whey water itself is enough. This wheat gluten also increases the protein content, thereby giving you a much better whole wheat bread. At this stage, stop the mixer and I'm adding about half a cup of extra flour. Run the mixer for about another 5 to 8 minutes. Stop the mixer. The dough is still very sticky. It's okay, the dough should be slightly sticky. Don't make it very dry. Transfer the dough onto a working surface. Sprinkle some extra flour and just knead it for 2 or 3 minutes. You don't have to knead it completely, just keep mixing it till it becomes a little less sticky and pliable. Grease a bowl with some olive oil and spread it all over. Place the dough inside the bowl and let this rise for about 1 to 2 hours. Spread some oil over the dough so that it doesn't dry out. Cover it and leave it in a warm place. If you live in a cold area, then leave the dough to rise for about 2 hours. But if you live in a hot place like me, then I let it rise only for 1 hour. This dough should double in size whichever place you live in. Just wait for the dough to double in size and then you can open it. I'm using this 9 by 5 inches loaf tin. I've greased it with some oil and spread some atta so that the dough will come out, the bread will come out easily. This is after 1 hour. My dough has risen very well. Punch the dough down and then shape the dough into a loaf. Shape the dough, pinch the edges and then place the dough inside the loaf tin. Now cover this and let this rise for about 30 minutes. Again, I live in a hot place, so I left it only for 30 minutes. If you live in a cold place, then you will have to leave it for 1 hour. Wait for the dough to double. Then to do an egg wash over the dough, take 1 egg, add 1 tablespoon of milk to it and whisk it well. We can use this to wash over the dough. This will give a nice color to the bread. This is after 30 minutes. My dough has risen well. Do an egg wash. In the meantime, preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius for about 15 minutes. You can place a small cup of water inside the oven while the bread is baking. This will create steam and it will give a lovely crust to your bread while it's baking. This is optional, but I do it sometimes. Bake the bread for about 35 to 40 minutes. Once it's done, remove it and spread some butter over the bread. Remove it immediately from the tin and let it cool down completely. Wait for the bread to cool for about 4 hours before you cut it in. So this is it, a healthy, tasty, 100% whole wheat bread is done. Adding wheat gluten is optional, you need not use it. The whey water itself will give you a lot of protein and structure to this bread. This is one of my best and favorite Aata whole wheat bread. It's a healthy option for your family. Definitely try it out. Until next time, bye bye.